Collective. Hey, what is going on? Welcome into the channel. So happy to have you here always. My name is Deborah, owner of Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is another episode of Purusha Intuitive. We're going to look at the energy around our current health, well-being, things that just really help us thrive, be the best version of ourselves via the tarot, astrology, any channeled messages that come through, as well as some Ayurvedic living tidbits. So let's get into it. It's happy new moon. It's a happy new moon, I should say. We're having a new moon in Taurus today, a little bit later on, or like the actual height of the new moon is a little bit later on today. And you know, it's been an interesting energy leading up to it. We're in Taurus season. Well, I should side note, number one, these messages are timeless. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. I am going to talk a little bit about the astrology that's currently going on. If it resonates, that's great. If it doesn't, don't even pick it up, kind of vibe. But we're in Taurus season, and Taurus is earth energy. It makes us commit to more of what we are growing and building in our life. The things that actually give us sustenance, that give us support, stability, etc. And that can definitely get met with a lot of challenges as we navigate those waters. Astrologically, things have been kind of quiet, and I feel like this is giving us the time and the space to make decisions accordingly. Actually taking time to process through what's going on, how things are manifesting, who and what you're dealing with, how those interactions are taking place, and then giving you that time, that space to reevaluate, re-regulate, finding different and better ways to honor yourself in the process, regardless of what other people, situations say or do. That can be really difficult. It can be really difficult. I can totally resonate with that. There's people who are very much focused on making things difficult, and sometimes we just have to navigate those things for better or for worse. It's not an easy thing to wrap our minds around, but it does help us to become stronger, better versions of ourselves. I love this too. There's like a huge thunderstorm rolling in, so if you can hear that in the background, it's so magical. Like rain, this energy, like it's reminding me of this energy of like cleansing the destruction. Especially when we have like thunder and lightning, it really does shake up the reverberations. Everything is energy, and so that in and of itself can be a tricky thing to navigate. Not to keep coming back to this point of challenge and overwhelm and blah, blah, blah. But it has this value of like things needing to be shook up. Things needing to, certain aspects of life, of what we're doing, etc., engaging in, they're not working anymore. And so that's that shakeup that's coming in. So we can find, again, a little bit more balance, peace, and harmony within ourselves, within our own life. And that really is the true way to heal, to grow, to evolve. Health and well-being is contingent on having a strong foundation set for ourselves. And that's exactly what this Taurus energy gives us. However, the challenges are reminding us of like where we're not getting fed, where there is more difficulty, destruction, etc., things that we don't need to plug our energy into as much. And again, that can all be a tricky dance to navigate. But also why I like to start the readings off with an energy cleansing. Just set the tone, set the vibe for the reading, cleanse out those places where we're feeling blocked, limited. It's a really good opportunity to set your own intention as well, especially if you've come in with something on your heart, on your mind, a situation, person that you're thinking about that you would like to receive messages around. Definitely give that over to Spirit and be open to receive. Spirit's always looking to speak to us. And oftentimes all we have to do is ask and then wait for the answer, right? I also do a variety of health and wellness services. I do readings, obviously, if you want me to look at your specific situation. how it's faring. I also do energy healing, pranic energy healing to be specific, and Ayurvedic or holistic wellness consultations. Because like I was just talking about, when we're aligned in self, when we're feeling strong, grounded in who we are, that is where we manifest our happiness, our abundance, our fulfillment. And I would love to help support that in whatever way possible for you. Definitely hit me up. All the info to get into contact with me is in the description box below. All right, let's get into it. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for your highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience, overwhelm. Cleanse it and release it from our being so we may see and understand the messages clearly. Help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama Love. All right, so I am feeling this energy of like just trying to get through something, like trying to be over and done with a situation, a dynamic, a person. Opportunity flips out as I'm talking about this. So this feels like places where new opportunities are actually coming in for you. But I feel like there's some other things that are like lingering in the background that need to be dealt with before you explore new opportunities. Or maybe new opportunities like are trying to come in and there's a little bit of cleaning up that you need to do. You are more. I love this as our overarching energy. And as I'm looking at this, numerology, it's a 30. So 30 is all about people and dynamics that are working with us. And it's an interesting thing. I was just reminded of this yesterday, annoyingly enough. The value of what an energy looks like when people and situations are actually working towards the betterment, towards goodness, towards the whole, versus not so much when they're trying to tear down, trying to be difficult, trying to like cause chaos, etc., whatever that looks like for you. This is that energy of being able to rise above, especially with that eagle. I love that in the background. Bald eagles are or just like eagles in general, are so majestic. My son and I, last year, we have a lot of really great state parks around us. We love to go to the beach and we're campers and, paddleboarders and all the things, right? And it was so cool. We were like literally sitting in the middle of the lake on the paddleboard and we watched this bald eagle circle its prey and swoop down and grab it up. And it was like right in front of us. It was wild, but so beautiful. And I think why I'm saying this is it's about tapping into your beauty or remembering your beauty, remembering who you are. And that is not an easy thing to do, especially when we're facing a lot of destruction, a lot of, or just people, situations that are trying to bring us down, or whatever lies, untruths we're buying into in our own mental psyche. This is remembering that you are more. You are more than what you sell yourself to be or what other people have told you that you are, right? Like we all kind of go through those places where life can be really limiting, or we experience relationships with people who like to put us down or like to make us feel small, etc. And that's not true. That is not true living. It's not true life. If anything, there is limitless potential. And we can see this even through the study of the brain, that value, like, we only use 10% or whatever. Even transcendental meditation, a practice that goes hand in hand with Maharishi Ayurveda. It talks a lot about how, or that practice, that meditation practice can actually like open us up to our full potential, our full capacity, because it's about allowing the mind to calm, to quiet down, and then actually functioning at maximum capacity, i.e. alpha 1 brainwaves, excuse me. And sorry, like weird tangent, I apologize, but it is really like, I think it's very much rooted in whatever transformation that you're doing, Whether you practice meditation with a mantra, whether you practice meditation in general, or you're just specifically trying to focus on finding your balance, finding your center, finding your peace and calm. You're transforming in a big way, in a powerful way, in a way that is actually going to bring you people who are more in line with yourself. Maybe you've been living a small life, or like I was talking about with those people and situations putting you down, you're actually rising above, and you're continuing to do so. You are what you think. This is a really hard one to overcome, but it is so true. The thoughts we think, the energy we put out is directly in alignment with our abundance. And it's very hard. I just was recommended this book. What is it called? The Courage to Be Disliked. Sorry, I saw it over there, but it was kind of fuzzy. The Courage to Be Disliked. And it's this value about like really taking responsibility for who we are, for what we do, for how we show up for ourselves and in our life, and then actually like implementing it. And most people don't like it, right? Like people want us to be, there is this clan mentality, herd mentality. The Veda talks a lot about this, where people want you or us to be a part of the, a part of the group, right? A part of the team, a part of the mentality. And when you put yourself out there, when you actually are thinking different or you break away from the pact, that can have a lot of negative consequences. And I'm saying that not only just with how the energy is showing up, but also from experience. The way that people can really turn on you, hurt you, manipulate, say things about you that are not even true, right? Just to kind of push their agenda because you're trying to approach things in a different way. You're trying to think about life in a different way or make a different life happen. And it's interesting because as we do grow and evolve, as we transform, our ideas and opinions about ourselves or life also transform as well. And so I feel like in part, some of this is stuff that's coming up for you about how you need to think about yourself or about your life. It's coming up on the heels of transformation in a good way. Like I think that like where you're moving towards is good, but there is still a little bit of a disconnect about how much you deserve, about whether or not you're able to. Or, we go through these periods where life changes us, right? And then we have to integrate into a new way of living. And I feel like that's what this is a lot about. How you're integrating into the new. And I feel like this, you are what you think, is highlighting places that there is disconnect, number one, of course. But also it's showing old things, like it's bringing up old habits, old patterns, old ways of viewing things that actually might not be very beneficial to you moving forward. And they're coming up in a way so that you can be aware of them, so that you can find a way to balance yourself with the tame and attain. Like maybe there is just a little bit more balance that you need to bring into your life. The blocked energy is almost there. It kind of goes back to what I was talking about in the very beginning. Wanting a situation, a dynamic, a relationship to move further, like move quicker than what it actually is. And yes, maybe in the fantasy, it looks like that would be the best way to move forward. But at the same time, not so much. Like there's value. There's value to your experience. There's value to like what you are moving through. And I think sometimes, or I've just even observed in my own life, like when I take a step back and depersonalize what's happening, not making it so much about me, like, oh, they're doing this or they're doing that or whatever. Like, yeah, people do stuff to us, right? But we don't have to get lost in the, like, there's a reframe, because when someone's doing something to us, it disempowers us. And that really gives us no opportunity to move forward. There might be some things that are popping up for you this week that are putting you back into a state of limitation is what I'm seeing. It's an energy that you are working really intentionally to transform, to overcome, to be that better version of yourself, or what, like I said, whatever's coming up is helping you to see how you can be better, right? Like, and I'm not saying it, I want to be very clear because I don't want to say things that put people down or whatever. That's like not my heart at all. And sometimes we go through situations where it's painful to the soul, it's limiting, it is defeating, it is so hard to get over. And this isn't about just like, oh, do that extra thing and then you'll be fine. I think what you're dealing with is it's this part of acceptance, accepting what is, even in like the ugliness is what I'm hearing. We got the Lovers, we got the Seven of Wands, and the Four of Coins. So this need to self-protect on certain relationships that are important to you, that are close to you, but also people that might not understand you with this Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands puts us in a position of, yes, like a little bit of defensive energy, but also where we feel like, again, people aren't really understanding why or what we're doing, and there might be some backlash for it, and that's why it can be a little bit defensive and a little resistant. But I love how this card depicts it because it's about letting your light shine bright, not to be a cheese ball. Sorry for my cliche phrases. Please forgive me. They work, but I hate them. Sorry. I just don't like, whatever. But it has this energy of like, okay, so are you going to let the hardship push you down? Are you going to let it push you back into a place that you've already gotten out of? And I feel like you're not. I feel like even topically, as I'm looking at this, there might be some things that happen this week that maybe it becomes tempting to go back down a certain road or say certain things or interact with certain people, etc., especially because of this Lovers component. But at the same time, I feel like if you do, then Four of Pentacles, it's self-protection. It's making sure that people and situations don't get the best of us. Or it's also about like, it can be a little bit of a miserly energy, like holding on to material goods. And I'm hearing that for you as like protecting what you've built. Like, but the Four of Pentacles to me, even though it has a sense of stability, it also feels like you need to protect it. Like whatever you've built, that's what I keep hearing. Whatever you've built up until this point in regards to your health, in regards to your well-being, like protect that. That is an important, I don't think it's fragile, but I think if it's mishandled, it can go down a dark path or it can revert. Maybe that's a better way to say it. Not everything has to be so dark and destructive. There are those parts of life, obviously, and I'm hoping you're not dealing with something like that because those energies, they can be a lot, I'm a sensitive person though, so for me it's a lot. It's just, not so much about, it's making the choice, the practical choice to not engage with those energies, right? And I feel like I've been seeing this not only like in our own readings in the astrology, but also like other YouTubers, where there is this like pause to not let things dictate, infiltrate, not let them like veer you off course, like we were just talking about, as easy as that might be to allow to happen. But I love this. You're coming in as the Star. This is one of my favorite energies in the tarot. The Star is all about healing. It's also the wish fulfillment in the major arcana because it reminds us that even if we're not exactly where we want to be in this moment, we're headed towards that direction. And I feel this for you. But I think this also tags back to what I was saying. Like, protect yourself. Protect your energy. Protect the healing that you have done. And maybe you're being a little bit willy-nilly about it. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. someone, something is being very future oriented, putting a lot of stock in the future. Maybe, and I don't feel like this is you. Maybe it is you, but it's like, I feel this energy of like someone, something like, oh, it will get better in the future. Oh, we'll deal with that in the future. And it's not as much in your wheelhouse. Okay, so we have 5 of Swords as well. So that makes a lot of sense with what I was just saying. You're coming into, and this is in your environment, you're coming into certain blocks. You're coming into certain people, situations that there's no way to move forward. And all you can do is kind of just continue on your healing path, whatever that means for you. And I feel like, again, like I was saying, like the delays that are being created, they're not personal. Don't take them personally. But at the same time, don't let them detour you from whatever you're doing. I think staying focused is going to be in your benefit, especially with this tame and attain, because whatever you are working on needs to find a little bit more grounding and stability. And we get that. We get that with Taurus season, Earth energy. And that's where you're moving towards. I think some of the stuff that's coming out, like I said, is highlighting what you need to tame and attain, so to speak. Excuse me. It's highlighting those places that like people, situations, dynamics might be getting the best of you or stealing your energy, sucking you dry, like making you feel not so healthy and well. Lots of communication. Someone, something wanting to like prove their side is what I'm hearing. I'm going to pick this up. They want to prove like, let's see, this is a lot, but I'm going to just see what it says. Like they want to prove something to you. And so right now you might not have the full story, or they might be even acting like very out of character or just kind of in a bad way. We got 10 of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles, 4 of Cups, the Wheel, and 10 of Wands. So there is this energy of burden and heaviness that's changing. Or like what I'm seeing about this is something, and I feel like this is more for like energies outside of you. It's not as much about you. I feel like there's something that's becoming more of a reality that's hard for someone or something to kind of like contend with. Either they put themselves in a bad position, or they put themselves in a position where they thought things were going to go differently and now it's not. And how this pertains to you is because they're projecting a lot of their stuff onto you. Especially with this 8 of Wands. This is messages, communication, but it's also things coming in really fast, really just like acutely, so to speak. That value of like, it's almost like you can't escape conversation, messages, like maybe even some attacks is what I'm feeling with this 8 of Wands. It might not be the most brutal attack, so to speak, and I'm hoping it feels more verbal. I should clarify. It feels more like a verbal. Ace of Swords, and we have the Keeper of Swords. So someone's getting a lot of clarity around what is actually happening, what a dynamic is actually moving towards. You are keeping your, like, I think that you are really being protective about who and what you're letting into your life with this 2 of Cups in your blocked energy. You might not be giving someone a fair shake or and I'm saying this is their perception. It's not the truth. Like, I think you need to make the best decisions, obviously, for yourself, and you're going to know what's best for yourself. I also see that someone doesn't like it, like, because it looks like you're actually investing in yourself way more than what you used to. Is this the Keeper? Oh gosh, dude. Okay, so the Keeper of Swords is popping up again. Diffusing the emotion, taking the emotion out of it. That's how we tame and attain. That is the secret, right? To like diffuse how much we're taking on personally, or yeah, it's so easy to let our emotions get the best of us, especially if people are attacking or like saying nasty things or whatever. Exactly. With this Chariot. But But I feel like when you stay balanced, when you stay grounded in self, it's actually going to deliver you the right results, because whatever you're dealing with is challenging you. It's challenging you specifically in relation to the future, like how things are going to play out. And I feel like something is trying to like dictate what that looks like for you. This could be something that you've given your power away to for a long time or in the past or whatever. And you're now finding more balance. I see that like changes are happening and you're feeling good, you're feeling strong, you're feeling better. But then there are some things that are coming in to kind of, it's reminding you of what needs to be healed. And I do see some intentional provoking in your outside energy. So the energy around you that's affecting you. And this is basically telling you to keep it level-headed, keep it diplomatic. The King of Swords has no feeling. Like, it's just all rational. And sometimes it can be a brutal, cold truth. But I feel like maybe that's in your best benefit right now. Like, maybe you can't be empathetic and understanding with someone because of how they act and behave. And specifically with this Five of Swords, like someone doesn't want to give you access. Like they want to give you access maybe in the future, but even in the future, it looks like because you're not accommodating someone or something, that's where the retaliation comes into play. I'm seeing this Chariot as a ultimatum. Like, you can do this, or, you know, you can do this and come along with me, or I'm going to cast you off to the side type vibe. And here's the thing. I don't see you wanting to be a part of any of this energy. Like, it feels a little bit combative. It feels like someone or something, or just an energy in general that you're dealing with, where you feel like someone's not letting you have the freedom and flexibility that you need present day. Like, maybe they think it feels retaliatory. Is that a word, retaliatory? I don't know. It feels like retaliation. It feels like someone who is not liking how you're showing up, how you're healing, how you're evolving. And so as a result, they're going to do X, Y, and Z to kind of push the issue with you. You may or may not see it. I think it's, again, don't take it too personally, because it's not about you. And if anything, this is about just like being a more balanced version of yourself. And anytime we're dealing with our health and wellness, that's like the best thing we can do, because health and wellness is our foundation. It's the foundation of how we are successful in our life, how we feel in our relationships, in our dynamics, who and what we're actually letting into those things. If we're not taking care of ourselves, then we're going to allow people in situations that are a little more destructive or toxic or whatever, right? And I know, like, whatever, like we all, I don't know, reality TV is such a big thing. Like, we like the drama to some capacity, right? But is it actually nurturing for the soul? And I don't know, like, because here's the thing, I see you focusing more on yourself and letting someone else do what they need to do. In the way that, like, let someone else spiral. Let them create their own grave, so to speak, is how I see it. And you don't have to be dealing with a specific person or situation. This can just be the energy of letting it die, letting it be done and over with, even if it is trying to make a resurgence, or even if it is trying to be like, oh no, but I'm this, that, and the other. Like, I'm good enough for you. I'm, you know, whatever. Trying to sell itself to be more beneficial than what it actually is. When in reality, this energy can't show up for you present day. This is an energy, like I said, that's refusing. That's what Five of Swords is. Five of Swords is like a refusal to work together. Someone has to be the person on top, not being nice. Like, it's a very aggressive energy. The most aggressive, honestly, in the tarot, if we're going to talk about that. And I feel like someone's something, it's very much this vibe of like, I'm not going to give collective anything. Like maybe in the future I'll think about that, but for right now there's a lot of just destruction. There's a lot of not good behavior. And I think for you, it's all about not getting too sucked into it. Because it's showing that you see through it. It's showing that you see through it. But that might also be a blessing and a curse, right? That might be a blessing and a curse. Because of what the backlash is. Like, I kind of see this as whatever's making these boundaries really doesn't even know what they're talking about. Like, it's almost this thing of just like thinking that you will be around and available in the future, whatever that looks like for you, that it's just a matter of time. If they wait it out, you'll come back around, blah, blah, blah. Mistakes is what popped out as I was picking this up. Allow me to know it's okay to make mistakes. So this person's situation wants you to understand that they didn't make the right choices, but nothing in their energy is really telling you that, you know? And so much of it comes back to, what do you deserve, or what do you think you deserve? Do you deserve people and situations that will kind of collapse, mow you over, mow you down, make you feel bad, make you feel less than, just to eventually kind of work things out? And I'm not harping, right? Sometimes we need space and time apart from people and situations so we can heal. Psychology talks about a healthy response is hey, I'm not ready to talk about this, but let's talk about it later down the line. And then they'll actually follow through and address whatever they need to address. This is not that energy. This energy is so much I'm gonna create the boundaries. I'm gonna create the rules of the game. That's what it feels like. It feels like it's a game. It feels like something wants to, like I said, dictate how things are playing out, what you should and shouldn't do, i.e. where the Five of Swords is coming into play, but also not really taking into account that you're a person and you're doing your own things as well, right? You don't necessarily need to listen to someone else and how they think you should live your life. Okay, so money pops up. So this could just be financial stability. All my finances are now in divine order. Love itself knows my needs, and it is a source for all. I needn't cling to gain or fear of loss. Every need will be met through the offering to the divine. And I think that's so true, right? Whether that's money or just your feeling of stability and sustenance, like I was talking about earlier, Taurus season, new moon energy, knowing that things are going to be provided for, right? This energy can do what it wants to do until it's blue in the face. But it doesn't mean that you have to get on board with it. And I feel like that might be some of this taming and attaining, not getting too sucked into people and situations, knowing that you deserve more. You are what you think. So if we're going to perpetually believe that someone deserves some type of power in our life, someone or something, then they're probably going to get that, right? And you don't necessarily have to go down that road. I see, like I said, I don't see you specifically doing that, but I feel like whatever this energy is, it keeps popping up. It keeps trying to infiltrate. There's our mistakes card. Something wanting to backtrack. That's fine, but obviously keep in mind how often that happens. I've had a lot of people in my life that will apologize for the same thing over and over and over again. And sometimes if you're too kind, if you're too empathetic, if you're too understanding, it puts you into this position of being taken advantage of. And I feel like, yes, you can acknowledge, I get it. I'm sorry for you. I'm sorry for the situation. I'm sorry how it played out. But you don't necessarily have to be responsible or take on responsibility for someone or something else's bad behavior. Or even if you've picked up something along the way that is detrimental to your health and well-being. You can say, I don't need it anymore, right? I don't need this to function. And I think the more we step away from certain energies that are heavy, that are toxic, that are destructive in our life, the easier it is to find our confidence, right? Divine confidence is completely different from the bravado of ego. You make space for something larger to take hold. Please fill me with your confidence. Grant me the courage I never knew I had. And I think that's so important. It's like, grant me the courage I never knew I had. That can even just be your prayer or your mantra for the week. Help me to overcome whatever this is that's trying to like hold you back or hold you down or exercise their power, their control, etc. Whatever this is, right? This is definitely something that wants the upper hand and is very intentional about exercising that power. And I see you know, I don't know. It doesn't look like you are succumbing to it. I feel like this is more something or someone that is forced upon you. Like, this feels like an energy that you can't get away from. And that's why we have this almost there in our blocked energy, which I didn't really touch on. I don't want to, I can clarify this a little bit. Like, it's not that you are not almost there. I don't see it as that, but I think that like timing is in your hands, and that can also be difficult. Timing in your hands, meaning how much you interact, engage, how much you're feeding into someone or something's bad behavior. Get out of your head. Like, maybe some things just need to be let go and like dead and buried, like I was talking about in the very beginning. And this is a 37, so in numerology it breaks down to a 10. Closing out cycles, right? Like, you are almost there, but there are some things that are happening, and I think these are things that are in your control. Even if you don't feel like that 100%, there's things in your control that you don't have to go down certain roads. Like, maybe something's trying to provoke, trying to get a certain reaction response from you. And this is basically like saying, like, you don't have to do that. You know, you don't have to do it. And if anything, it's like better for you if you don't engage, because it's protecting what you are healing, what you are building and growing for yourself. And, you know, whatever is trying to infiltrate that really doesn't deserve it, right? They don't deserve your time and energy. They don't deserve, you know, like any sort of acknowledgement, to be honest, because it's a lot of, drama. It's a lot of someone not understanding themselves and then acting out of bad behavior or whatever, right? Whether that's just a thought you think, you know, someone told you something once upon a time, or you're actually dealing with a physical person and it's just like making things really hard. The more you build and grow in your confidence is going to be your best friend this week. It's going to help you overcome some of the places that, like, not only have you allowed this limitation in your life, but also places that you've limited yourself. And that's what this is all about. It's about overcoming, not getting so wound up around certain people, situations, whatever they're saying, dynamics, blah, 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 and actually finding that confidence in yourself to rise above, to move beyond, to not succumb, to be better because of it. But that's actually bringing in the balance and stability that you're looking for. Maybe in an indirect way, maybe in a way that's hard to see, maybe in a way that's hard to acknowledge. But today is a new day. It is a new moon. We have new opportunities that come along with that. And it's a new opportunity to kind of just like build and grow and invest in your life in a way that brings you the stability that you are looking for. That grounding, the stability, the health, the wellness, the vitality. So thank you so much for your time, energy, always. Sorry it fell a little flat, but I super appreciate you. I hope you found messages that resonated for you here. Definitely drop comments below if you did. I'd love to hear, or just say, hey, share in a little love, little TLC. I so appreciate all the love, all the support to the channel. No, it blesses my heart, and I'm sending the love and blessings back your way. Have a happy Saturday. And I think I'm going to go live tonight. To be determined, but I think I'm going to go live tonight for the new moon. So stay tuned. Talk to you later. Have a good one.